So we're doing another book review. I read this Second Chance Christmas by Pamela Tracy. The series is The Rancher's Daughter. It is a love-inspired. And let's read the back of the book before I share the Bible phrase that's in the book and also the paper clips in the book along with a book rating. A holiday for healing. As December dawns in the Superstition Mountains, Cooper Smith is resigned to spending another Christmas alone. With his dad gone, his mom ailing, and his younger brother in trouble, Cooper's only wish for the holidays is to keep his father's outfitting store going. But when his former high school sweetheart, Elise Hubrecht, unexpectedly returns to her family ranch, Cooper puts one more item on his to-do list. If he can get Elise to face the tragedy that made her leave Apache Creek, he may get the chance of a lifetime, a second chance at lasting love. The Rancher's Daughters, sisters find hope, love, and redemption in the Arizona desert. Okay, here we go. Bible phrase is, the heart of the man plans his way, but the Lord establishes his steps. Proverbs 16:9. I'm going to read to you this little snippet that they do to entice you, and then I'm going to read these little paper clips, spots that touched my heart and inspired me to get you to read this book. Back in town so soon? Cooper asked. I got laid off, so I'm moving back home and taking that job at the high school, Elise replied. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that I got laid off, or sorry to hear that I'm moving back home? Laid off. It's not that easy making a change. Up until a year ago, I worked in Moab, Utah. I was just beginning to make a life for myself. You came because your family needed you, Elise pointed out. Didn't make it any easier. You're right, but there's no other work. I spent the last month checking out the job market. So Apache Creek High School is your only option? The wind picked up, blowing her hair across her face. It's the only option I'm accepting. Cooper tried not to let it bother him that Apache Creek was a last resort. The Elise he knew and loved, it here. And it was wrong that Elise didn't feel excited about moving back home. Just as much as it had been wrong for her to walk away from him, from the life they'd planned. Okay, first paper clip is page 21. Sometimes, Mike said gently, you're most needed in the place that defined you. And we move forward. Like I said, these little snippets are just to get you excited and to make you want to either go to the nearest library and pick up this book, go to Amazon, go to Walmart, wherever books are sold, so you can check out this book. Okay, page 30. Cooper didn't bother to tell her what he thought about her using the word committed. At one time, she'd known the meaning of the word. If she'd stayed true, they'd have been married 4 or 5 years. Maybe had a kid or two. Come to think of it, committed had 2 meanings. Cooper needed to be committed for still harboring feelings for her. Okay, page... Where's the little mark? No way was she going to get into discussion about why, with a high school senior, one who was very aged, Elise had been... No way was she going to get into a discussion about why, with a high school senior, one who was the very age Elise had been when Cindy died. Sometimes you make choices in your life that are more than good of others than for yourself, Elise finally offered. John didn't look too impressed. You're here to help with Garrett, he asked. Does Garrett need help? John nodded. With that, he clicked his tongue and nudged the horse forward. Only then did Elise notice that the horse was slowing down and that Cooper had already dismounted and was staring at her. And that's page 61 to 62. And we move forward. Page 68 and 69. That didn't sound like the fun, loving, adventurous boy she remembered, but 10 years was plenty of time for a person to change, and that just made her heart ache again when she thought of Cindy, her best friend, who never got the chance to grow into the woman she could have been. Dad, I don't think that I can come home. Everything here reminds me of Cindy. I can see her standing in the barn right there waiting for me and complaining about how much time I spent with the horses. Her dad, as she cared for the horses, "You're always going to miss her," he said, but simply, "but missing her doesn't always have to hurt. Coming home facing those memories, maybe it's just what you need to do to find some peace." Her father continued, "For what time she had on this earth, you were a good friend. Sometimes that just has to be enough." Elise wished that could be true. All she ever could think when it came to Cindy was if she'd taken the time to check her phone. She'd have seen Cindy's last text. She would have known Cindy's boyfriend had been drinking and that she wanted a safe ride home, a ride that Elise should have given her. And nothing she did then nor now could change the fact that she hadn't, because she didn't. Cindy died, and something inside Elise died too. Okay. I'm going to move on to the next paperclip, which is paperclip 87. Sometimes it's the unexpected that brings the most joy. Someone else, Elise couldn't remember who, had said this much to the same. Move on to the next paperclip. Page 169. Be not forgetful to entertain strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. She now wanted the Senequas at the writing school. Their daughter didn't need their interventions, mentors, or such, but maybe the writing school needed them. I'm throwing paper clips on the floor, people. Okay, page 183. One of my friends just texted me. Page 183. Apparently the same was true for Garrett, who repeated, "I've got important things to do, if I can just get away long enough." Elise wanted to say something, reassure him, but her throat had tightened until the very act shallowing hurt. Garrett had just summed up her reaction to Cindy's death and why Elise had left. Because by leaving, she could pretend that Cindy was still alive. Because by staying in Apache Creek, every time Elise turned around, she'd remember. Cooper did the right thing. He knocked. If it weren't for the pink flush on his cheeks, she believed that he'd just arrived. Garrett wasn't fooled either. Okay. We're going to keep on going. How long were you out there? Long enough to know I need to leave you alone about college. I get it. Just tell me you'll finish high school and that's all I ask. Garrett nodded and said, "Can we go get Carl now? That's why I'm here." "But you still won't let me drive by myself?" "Garrett, you still—" "I know. There was a reason. Not one you want to share with me," Cooper reasoned. "I can't. I promised. Does Carl know why you took his money?" Garrett looked down at his boots again, and Elise felt torn. On one hand, she was making headway with Garrett. Cooper's appearance changed everything, and she wasn't sure it was for the better. On the other hand, the two men were talking, really talking, and she had to give Cooper credit. He was listening. "I told him," Garrett muttered, but both Elise and Cooper raised their eyebrows. This was news. But Garrett admitted he was unconscious. And so then Elise comes to the decision that they'll all go pick up Carl, and maybe we can cheer him up. To herself, she thought, "And maybe I can get you back to talking to each other as brothers, talking not about Carl or the money, but your dad." At least that's what she had told herself. No way did she want to admit that maybe, for the first time, she was thinking that she and Cooper needed to talk about the friend Cindy that they lost, and about losing each other. And we're going to move on to the last paperclip, which is simply a note from the author. Yep. I'm not going to give you any more tidbits. You have to read to find out who stole the money. Why was the money stolen? You want answers to these burning questions, and did Cooper and Elise end up together? The only way to find out is read the book. But listen to what the author wrote. "Dear reader, welcome to Apache Creek, Arizona. It's really a similar version of Apache Creek Junction, Arizona, where, yes, there's a gold panning store, and best of all, the Superstition Mountains. One of my favorite memories is writing the Superstitions. There was nothing like the mountain for not only its history, the Native American and Lost Dutchman, but also the scenery, especially during and after a rain. Like Cooper, the hero in the Second Chance Christmas, I've been close and personal, but not so friendly with a jumping chihuahua." Now, I have no clue what a jumping chihuahua is, but it sounds interesting. That's a personal note. Anyway, I've had many encounters, both good and bad, in my life, and I thank God He's been there for each and every one. Elise Hubright and Cooper Smith figured out early that they were meant for each other. Sometimes, though, the bump in the road is a chasm that seems impossible to cross. Nothing, however, is impossible. I hope you enjoy the story of forgiveness, healing, and helping. You can find me online at www.pamelatracy.com or email me at pkayet@aol.com. I love hearing from the readers. Pamela Tracy. And Miss Pamela Tracy, what am I going to give your book? The Second Chance Christmas? I'm going to give it a 7. Good middle of the road 7. Good read. What am I reading now? Well, since you can ask that question, which I know all of you can, what I'm reading now is Lori Wilde, The Christmas Dare. And I'm 64 pages in, and let me tell you, it is a good book. She gets left at the altar, and her mom wanted her to have the Christmas wedding, okay? Well, then her ex-groom tells her that he wants her to be happy, to stop playing it safe. And her best friend starts daring her to do these wild and crazy things that she normally wouldn't do, which will get her to live her life a little bit more. And it's quite an interesting start to the book. I'm pulled in already, and I want to know what's going to happen next. So that's going to be a great book review, I can guarantee you. Anyway, my voice is coming and going. It's snowing outdoors. I'm not too happy about this. It can stop that nonsense. I still have to get to Aldi's tomorrow night, and then this coming week I have to take my mom to go to the knee doctor on Wednesday. Not looking forward to this, okay? Because it's not anywhere local. It's in Savoy. And I have to go to Effingham to pick her up. Go to Savoy to drive. Then I have to drive back into Mattoon, back through Effingham, down to Louisville, and back to Mattoon. So, yeah. See this face? Not a happy face. But it is what it is. Hopefully we can have a safe and sound trip on that. But anyway, that book gets a 7. Reading this book, no news really to report for tonight. Will I sing you a Christmas song? Oh, we'll see. Okay? We'll see. We'll end at that. Have I noticed that I have gotten some likes lately on my videos, plus the views have gone up? Yes, I thank you for watching. I thank you for your kind comments, which is simple. I've turned the comments off, so you can't comment other than this, which I prefer. Thank you. And may you all have a happy, healthy holiday season. God bless. Stay tuned.